Evening all, welcome to Kicking Dust. So, today we are looking at a new map. This very long, thin, weird map is, I don't know what it's called. I think people have been referring to this as the bridge. If I'm wrong, post in the comments, trolling and laughing at my ineptitude, because I'm still actually trying to find all the maps. I think the previous one was the research facility, that was pretty obvious. This one does appear to be a bridge, but I could be wrong. But basically this is on a mountain, and wow, what a great map, love it. I think that the funny thing about maps coming into the game is watching other people try and literally learn it. It's lovely. It's really cute watching it. But anyway, here we go. So this is a domination, and I think again I'm quite actually getting happier with the matchmaking now. They've certainly fixed it, certainly to the point where whenever I'm joining a match, what I find is the waiting time is barely 5 to 10 seconds. Now, if I go in with a gang, it does seem to take longer, but I'm running solo today. And I think, to be honest, it seems to be kind of really getting there. In terms of the level of players that we're fighting against as well, that everybody's pretty good. I think I've got 17 million skill points now, 16, 17, something like that. So basically, the people I'm going up against are quite good. And I think that probably is quite nice as well. One of the things about matchmaking that I've always quite liked, for example, War Thunder, which is that World War II fighter game, that has a very good matchmaking system, which I think Dust is now basically, mimicking. It's a very good, capable system to basically get the right level of players in. So I think really what it will do is it will take a few from above and a few from below your skill level and kind of put them in, so it's not absolute noobs all the time. You probably will have, you'll get once in a while maybe that kind of scenario, but I think just generally it's kind of putting relatively similar player skill level players in the same level in the same match. So it seems to work quite well. I was quite impressed. I only played a few rounds yesterday, but I was quite impressed. I quite liked it. It was the game was feeling pretty good. I know it's annoying that people are kind of really not liking aim assist. I think the hit detection as well has changed. So I think, because of the change of a few things, the whole game does feel very different now. But I feel as if I'm adapting to that. And I think certainly in this match, wasn't a high scoring round for me because, again, I'm not totally comfortable with the game yet. But I would say things like the lasers looking pretty good. I'm loving the laser, in fact. And I think, I'm still trying to find which suit works best for me, because I don't stick with the laser. I use the assault rifle, I even use the flaylock and many other guns and the shotgun, etc. But I think really the kind of thing that I'm finding is you almost have to reinvent your game style completely, which I think that's probably been the annoying piece of this. I've managed also to figure out that scouts aren't completely useless, and we'll show you this in just a bit later in the footage. For some reason I wanted to go and refit, and that was stupid, walking right into a forge gun, but there we go. But I think, and then this assault dropship was really peeing me off. So basically I got into the turret and noticed the idiot had actually basically come right into the range of the assault turret. So here we go, and good night, Susan. That's one expensive loss. And then just to add insult to injury, yep, I'm killing you as well, dude, you're dead. And it's lovely that I think there's the game certainly feels quite a bit more of a challenge, I would say. The pace of the game has slowed down, which I think probably I'm a bit upset with, but I also accept it probably needed. The game was very, very almost a bit too fast. Scouts and I think just generally the way that people were playing, with hit detection not really working, meant that you had this kind of weird thing where basically everybody was collectively missing all the time. Now I think it's kind of the other way, where the chances are you're going to be hit more times than missed because of aim assist, because of hit detection, because of all of these things. You're now basically having to play a cover game more than anything else, which I actually don't mind too much. I think that's quite good, particularly with the scout suit. I think a lot of people are saying the scout suit's dead, etc, etc. Well, I'm running a scout suit here, and I actually found it wasn't too bad, because what I'm effectively doing is playing a very different game style. I'm not careering into the middle of kind of open ground. I am not playing stupidly. I'm actually picking and choosing when to be quick. So I think I probably will stick with the scout suit. I think I'm going to persevere, because while I have my kind of level, well, I guess it's a Neo suit at the moment, I do have the skill points to actually get level 5 Caldari Assault. But I think I'm just going to hold off for a moment because, again, I think they're good suits, but I'm kind of at the point where I'm thinking maybe the scout suit can be recovered here. But what I would say is you can forget using things like the shotgun and the flaylock and other guns, because the reality of it is that you have to use the assault rifle or the scrambler rifle or something, or even the laser rifle, because you can't really run and gun running through groups of people, you know, getting that kind of, you know, evasion tactic going so you can get close and then shotgun them in the face. You can't do that. Well, I don't feel you can do that anymore. However, you can play the fast-moving, relocating scout, possibly with a scanner and an assault rifle or a scrambler rifle, and I think you'll probably do quite good actually in that role. So I would recommend it. As you can see here, I'm literally playing that role. Whenever somebody comes for me, I'm just basically running away. And how that guy didn't see me, I don't know. But basically, if you run this kind of game where you're actually pretty much accepting you are fragile as they come. So don't try and take on heavies. Don't try and take on tanked prototype assault suits. Just, you know, move to another position, flank them, and then shoot them. So this guy is, I'm not going to kill him, so I'm going to run away. So here we go. And this is the tactic that I think the scout suit now has to do. There has to be this acceptance that it did evade too much gunfire before. And that was pretty much what made it a little bit OP in my opinion. But I think now it's about right, where somebody with a heavy machine gun, or a, you know, if somebody gets the bead on you with an assault rifle or something like that, you're in big trouble. So you do need to use cover quite a bit. So in terms of weaponry, I mean, I did love the shotgun, and I think, you know, people are telling me the shotgun is fixed. For certain maps, probably not this one, but certain maps you probably could still use it. I would say probably there really isn't a kind of high power one hit gun that's really viable for the scout suit anymore. Plasma cannon perhaps, but the reality of that is that you use the plasma cannon as you use the shotgun, as I used the flaylock, which was to rush as quick as you could up to them, jump left and right, strafe, and then evade, and then shoot them as they try and, you know, fumblingly shoot you. Well, that doesn't really work anymore. So because obviously the aim assist and the hit detection is enhanced, so basically you don't have as much chance of surviving. And I balls that up completely because I was going to go and get those snipers, but hey, there we go. But basically I think this is the role that most scouts will have to do now, is quick, fast movement, relocation, running around the side of buildings, and surprising the enemy. So a few people have made some really good comments on previous videos, which are, you know, using my scout suit, even with the shotgun, but basically I'm evading from the enemy, using the scanner to pretty much locate where they are, and then sneaking up and hitting them. And I would say that pretty much is what the scout suit is and should have probably always been. I think its ability to kind of run and jump and evade and strafe was a bit too powerful, but I think maybe it just needs a little buff back the other way, because I think scout suits should actually be able to move quite, you know, they should be able to strafe maybe a bit better. Anyway, in terms of, I think, certainly this map, though, I'm loving this particular map. I've got to admit, I'm very impressed. And again, playing veterans, it's been quite an eye-opener, because obviously you're not kind of, there's not, it's funny, let me try and explain this. There's not been these matches where pretty much everybody just gets stomped one way or the other, you know. So it's a funny thing with this game, where the previous matchmaking system would put, you know, 2 full squads of very prototype dudes against literally a group of random, you know, academy people, and it would just be an absolute utter stomp one way or the other. Now, I've not noticed that to the same degree in this particular version of the game. So what you actually get from it is a much more enriched experience. So I think after all of the wailing and gnashing of teeth that happened with 1.4 and what it brought, I think the reality is that the outputs have actually been for the positive. So I would probably recommend, if you're not playing currently, log in again and give it a try, because it's getting better. It is actually not too bad. Certain things I think still bother me, but here we go. So basically, I managed to get things like a sneaky hack on here, and I'm just amazed that I actually get away with it. But hit detection, I don't know if they've tweaked it or not, but it does seem, as in since the 1.4 patch, is that I am seemingly able to evade slightly better. But here we go. So I'm taking fire here, and the reality is there's no way I'm going to survive. particularly when I think I got Forge Gun. But so here we go. We swap to the Neo suit now. I know, shameless Aurum Whore, but I guess I'm trying it out before I buy, you know, commit to level 5, let's say. And I'm loving the laser. I think it is an incredibly powerful gun. I'm really quite enjoying it. Tempted to get this to level 5 and really focus on it. But we'll see. I think the problem with laser that I have slightly is it's not the most interesting footage to watch. Post in the comments if you disagree, but I think it's more interesting if you do things like flail, quick moving, fast moving shotgun style stuff. But the reality is that's not really going to happen anymore. These grenades coming over, isn't that brilliant? Laser rifle seems to be a lot more potent as well, I must admit. Look at it just melting people, and that's lovely. I think there's something very superb about that. Quite like in a scrambler pistol as well, and I think this will be something we do a fitting critique upon, because I quite like the idea that Scrambler pistol is a pretty good accurate gun now. Anyway, so I think in terms of the way certainly this map, and I think generally 1.4 are going, I would say I'm kind of becoming more comfortable with it. It was such a big change, and I think that was what kind of put me off it slightly, was it was so much this just one way or the other, you know. Whereas now I think certainly, you know, you become comfortable with something, don't you? And again, look at that laser rifle, love it. This is certainly going to become my gun, I think. I love this gun so much, there's something about it. I need to get better at using it, and I probably should go with Mar Assault just to get the benefit for it, but hey, that would take millions of skill points to sod that. I think a lot of people, if you're not trying this, or if you're not downloaded it, or if you're not playing it, then log on and play it. I think give it a few rounds as well. Don't just play one round and say, yep, it sucks, and log off. Give it a few, try a few. The matchmaking still will put you against some incredibly OPP players, so don't be surprised if you get stomped a few rounds. But eventually it will equal out, and you'll get the point where you'll get these kind of matches here where, you know, okay, we lost massively on the objective, but it was because we were fighting and they were being a bit more serious than we were. But I think certainly the level of action and fun was just as good as it ever was. There we go, a rare kill with the core flaylock. That was I actually logged the wrong suit by mistake. Don't bother using this gun, it's still terrible. I think certainly the scout suit isn't dead, and I think it's potentially able to be rekindled. I will do some more on this because I think at the moment a lot of the problem is just finding, you know, the new way of things, and I think that's kind of the important part of it, because if you don't really know what everything does, I mean, even a gun that you maybe thought didn't change, for example, I don't know, the Scrambler pistol, for example. The reality is that with the hit detection and aim assist, it has changed in both the way that you use it, when it's also used against you. So a lot of people who are saying to me, well, I don't use aim assist, it doesn't matter. It does, because everybody's using it against you. That's the problem. It's not whether or not you use it, it's the fact that lots of other people, you know, high level skilled players who shouldn't be using it are using it, and they're gaining benefit from it. However, I would say that it seems to be less problematic, certainly in the last few rounds that I played yesterday, that they didn't seem to be too bad. But let's review that. Let's see how this goes. As 1.4 goes, I think the bugs are being ironed out, so download it, give it a go, and let me know how you go. Post in the comments, and hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.